Hey guys, it's me, your boy J2, back with another video for you. We're still working through our 12 days of Christmas videos. This is day 6 now, and for day 6, I've invited Menzador to come on, and we're going to ask him a few questions about Christmas and about himself and stuff like that, while at the same time working on some building challenges in Minecraft. So our challenge that we're going to be working on today is we're going to be trying to see who can make the better candy cane, like the best candy cane. So be watching, and then at the end in the comments you can leave your vote for whether I made a better candy cane or if Menzador did. Alright, I hope you enjoy. Let's jump over. We're going to be doing a challenge between you and me. Right.
Oh,
On this nice
okay.
big clear space, we're each going to build the best candy cane that we can in the time it takes these interview questions to go through. And then afterwards,
Okay.
the chat, the comments rather, can vote on who has the better candy cane. Okay? Make sense?
All right.
Does that kind of make sense?
to me?
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. You can go ahead. You can use any materials you want. I'll use any materials I want. It can be big. It can be small. But we're just going to have some fun with it while we do it. All right?
Okay.
All right. So the first question that I have for you on my list here isn't really a question. It's a statement. I don't know if you saw it when I sent you the list earlier. I sent you the list of what the questions would be. The
I
first, yeah, the first question that you have is not a question, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, as much as you're willing to talk about, obviously.
Sure. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll give you a little bit of my professional profile. Um, so, as you know, my stage name is Menzador. I am 28 years old. I reside in the United States of America.
It's not a bad
By
spot to live.
trade. I know, not horrible, not horrible, not too shabby. Um, whoop. um, and um, I have been involved in the world of information technology um, for quite a while, actually. Um, my interest in information technology started when I was probably in grade school. Um, and I actually don't have a degree in what I do. Instead, I have a trade certificate um, from the Computing Technology Industry Association. Um, but yeah, like, so I've been in the biz for a while. I've been in biz for about 3 to 4 years. Um, and one of the things I do in my spare time is I do content creation, just like you. So I'm over at twitch.tv/Menzador.
I'll make sure that for those who are watching, I can put that link in the description as well for your channel, so that they can just
Yeah,
find
you
it
should
easily.
be. Yeah, you should be able to go ahead and do that.
I'm going to.
Actually,
Don't worry.
you could direct them to my website now that I have one.
Oh, you have a website
It's
now.
Oh well, yeah, you've seen it. It's a jumping point for literally everything Menzador. It's Menzador.net. So.
I don't know. It was like an actual domain.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what it. I mean, you know what it redirects to, but.
Does it just redirect to your Twitch channel?
No, it redirects to a giant landing portal where you can get in touch with me on all supported social media platforms.
Cool.
I have a couple more that I need to link, but Menzador.net is the place to go. So you want to follow me on Twitch, find my Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Hive, all those places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly. The next question. This might be a little easy one for you, but we'll see. What is your favorite Christmas song?
Well, actually, I believe you. I don't remember if you uploaded this one already.
This one has not been
I don't think
uploaded
you
yet.
Did. Okay, so
That's being uploaded maybe tomorrow, as in 2 days from now from when we're recording this, but tomorrow from when this is uploaded. I think that one goes out.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's gonna be so my favorite Christmas song is gonna be "Oh Holy Night," and The reason for that is actually
Good. I was about to
like,
ask
you
you
might
the
actually
reason.
find interest. You might find this interesting. Um, do you know who? Do you know who Engelbert Humperdinck is?
That sounds like the name of someone who's really smart.
No. You're probably thinking of Albert Einstein.
Not definitely not thinking of Albert Einstein. But go ahead, continue.
Okay, well, Engelbert Humperdinck, the modern one, not the ancient one. He takes his name from a German composer. Um, he is a British pop singer, known for his power ballads. And it turns it so he actually released a Christmas album way back when, and it was a wonderful Christmas album. And his arrangement of "Oh Holy Night" was particularly captivating to me in my years as a youngin' on the farm. So
A youngin' on the farm.
I didn't grow up on a farm, I should clarify, but I am the children of. I am the children. I am the
Because
child.
you are the children. Wow. A little bit of multiple personality
right?
discord there. Yeah. Yeah, I
know,
can't
right?
even
like,
talk today.
I am the world. I am the children. No. But anyway, that particular arrangement was particularly meaningful to me. It is a song that I do not go. There's not a Christmas goes by without that song for me.
That particular arrangement, or just a song?
Just the song. Although I will occasionally go and do his arrangement. Ooh, wrong color. There we go. I will occasionally go and do his arrangement of the song, but.
Cool. Let's see. So it's your favorite song because you heard a good rendition of it one time? And so you're like, oh, that's the best thing ever. Okay, fair enough. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, boy. That's a really bad one to ask me.
Why? I mean, despite the fact that you hate movies, why would it be a bad one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've known me long enough. I don't really like full-length feature films. But yeah, you're really gonna hate me for this one. But my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard.
I'm not gonna hate you for that one. And then my question then is, you gotta defend that now. Why is that your favorite?
Well, because nobody really expects like action movies to take place around the Christmas season, unless you're like one of those people who liked I don't know, movies like, say, The Santa Claus, which is another one of my favorites, but I don't like it as much as Die Hard. It has everything, and it has everything an action movie lover would like during the Christmas season. So basically, when everyone is busy watching those sappy Hallmark movies, which
mind you, I don't watch them. Like, the thing with the Hallmark movies is that it's the same plot line every single time, and most often it's also the exact same actors. So, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, in the world of sappy Hallmark movies, via Die Hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the only reason you like it is because it's different than the typical what you would find around
Exactly.
Christmas time. Okay. So are you like the type of person who always looks for the weird oddball stuff?
Not always, but yes, a lot of the time.
Okay. Cool. What is your favorite Christmas story?
You mean the one that isn't about Jesus' birth?
Yeah. Unless that one is your favorite Christmas story.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is being a believer in Jesus Christ, but
I mean, I'm a believer too, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's my all-time favorite Christmas story.
that's true. But there is another Christmas story that I like. And if you know, you know, you'll shoot your eye out, you'll shoot your eye out.
No idea what that is, so I obviously don't know.
You have never seen the movie A Christmas Story?
I have not. No.
Really? Okay. So it's
Enlighten
about
us.
a guy. It's about a guy named Ralphie who as a little boy growing up in Chicago, he wanted a specific bolt-action BB gun for Christmas, and everyone didn't think that he should own one because everyone was afraid he would shoot his eye out. And of course, it has a lot of other lovable jokes along the way, like the little orphan Annie gag, which, if I remember correctly, that was also based on a real thing too. It was everyone knew that like Ovaltine was the sponsor. Ovaltine still exists today, by the way. You just have to look a little harder for it. But like Ovaltine was like ubiquitous back in that particular time period. It's a chocolate drink. It's similar to, but it has more substance than like Yoo-hoo.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically, like, he sent away for and saved up, or waited like 4 to 6 weeks for a little Dakota ring, and then the radio program was gonna tell him what Little Orphan Annie's secret message was gonna be, and of course, spoilers for the movie. So if you've never seen A Christmas Story before, you better cover your ears right now.
Unless you don't mind spoilers.
Unless you don't mind spoilers.
Like that. No, that's not what I do.
But the whole thing turns out to be an advertisement for Ovaltine. So the decoded message. So he gets through with a decoded message, and he's stuck decoding it in the bathroom because it's like the only place where Ralphie says a boy could think back in that day, and
makes sense.
His little brother's like outside doing the potty dance, can't hold it any longer while he's trying to decode it, and it turns out it's just an advertisement for Ovaltine.
Nice.
But it really captures, like, it definitely captures the spirit of the age. Where
Commercialism?
Huh?
Commercialism?
No, not the commercialist age, but like kind of like the age where kind of like the age where like everything was kind of magical. There was a little bit of innocence during that time period that you don't really often see anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's one of those classic movies that they air on repeat, like it's one of the ones that they air on repeat on, like, I think TBS has the rights to it right now. But yeah, like, it's one of those classics that they air on repeat right around the days leading up to Christmas, like CBS does with like Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And
what is your favorite Christmas food or meal?
So this is also going to sound a little atypical because, like, you know, like the stereotypical Christmas meal is like turkey and cranberry or ham or something weird like that. But my mom makes a really good lasagna, and a lot of people in my immediate family growing up absolutely love the lasagna. So I like the lasagna. My brother loves the lasagna, and that's usually what we traditionally have for Christmas dinner.
Christmas lasagna.
A Christmas lasagna. I know, like I said, it sounds kind of atypical, but for us, that is like the crowning highlight of Christmas dinner. Oop. I'm gonna need to do something
Drastic.
here. 1 sec. Yeah, kind
I
of.
haven't even gotten to the hook on this yet because, like, I've just been trying to You're like, okay, I gotta fix everything that's wrong with it. Okay.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Like, I'm not even gonna try to do the hook until I can get this,
Alright, I've got some fixes I need. I got some fixes I need to apply, so, give me just a second here. This is about the best way I could think of to fix this. Stand back, folks.
Oh, don't worry. No one's there. Whoa! Hey! Hold on! Okay, you didn't blow up any of mine. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna just start all over.
And I'm also gonna take out like half the board on top of it. So, you know, Merry Christmas, folks!
You weren't kidding when you said Die Hard was your favorite. I mean...
Yeah! I wasn't kidding! It is my favorite Christmas movie.
And then you celebrate Christmas by blowing up candy canes.
Yeah. No, we don't. We don't actually do that, though.
Okay. We fixed the ground. Now we can get back to the interview here. What is the coolest Christmas present you have ever received?
That is a very good question. I really couldn't tell you.
Oh, come on. You gotta have something.
I mean, yeah, I should have something. I mean, these days I usually get like a small payment or a small gift card from my folks. That's really all that tides me over these days, and
That tied you over.
mean,
You make it sound like, oh, I need presents to survive. The only thing that tides me over is a little bit of cash from my parents.
But I mean, I don't really require much, and you'll see why as these questions get deeper. So, the coolest Christmas present I ever received, well, there was actually probably kind of a collection of them. So when I was a kid, Hot Wheels was my thing.
Oh yeah? How many did you have?
Quite a few. I nearly had the entire Hot Wheels city for 2002. These were so I should mention that these aren't the ones that they sell today. These are the ones that actually had like the interlocking 2-lane track.
Okay.
Because modern day Hot Wheels, they kind of went back to their roots, and they started doing the whole what you call it, the things with the you stick some batteries in them, and they've got like little wheels that push the cars through a predefined track now. So you got like predefined loops, like Gorilla Attack, which I have. That was actually amongst the Christmas presents that I had. But I also have Super Electronic Garage. I have the McDonald's back when Supersize was the thing. Let me think. There were a couple of others, but like those. And not to mention, I had my brother's existing collection of Hot Wheels cars as well. But yeah, and the only other present that I got for Christmas was like it was actually a reissue of a game whose CD actually broke in my desktop at the time. But I actually just reinstalled the game from that CD onto my new retro computer. So.
What game was it?
Yeah. So it's a game from a franchise that no longer exists. It's Microsoft Baseball 2000. Okay. So Baseball 99, Baseball 2000, Baseball 2001, was it was basically a series where you could not only play entire seasons of Major League Baseball with decently realistic graphics for the time, But you could also act as your own general manager and basically create your entire team. So I had teams of like people with like max height, weight, max skills, kind of like everyone's dream character in Madden, where like casual fans, casual NFL fans will like get copies of Madden and they'll like make a created player and um they'll um they'll they'll like name it after themselves and then give themselves like these ingloriously unrealistic stats, and
I did.
they'll go on to dominate the NFL. You know how those kinds of people are, right?
Yeah, I'm one of them, so I know quite well.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually kind of did I did this with Chuck Norris. Actually, I created a Chuck Norris clone with maximum stats once. And I put him on the Yankees, and he absolutely crushed it until one day when I got really mad with the game because of this. But my superstar, Chuck Norris, he reached on an infield fly.
Okay.
It was the first time he ever got put out in the game, and I never played a game of baseball 2000 ever again.
My star player messed up, so I am done with this game forever. What is your favorite part of Christmas?
Yes, my favorite part of Christmas. Well, I mean, Christmas has become much more streamlined over the years because until recently we haven't really had any little kids running around. But
Me
now
being your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't have kids. And my oldest brother lives 2 countries away, and therefore I can't come up for Christmas. However, my other brother currently lives not too far away from us. So he and his family can occasionally come up. They've got 3 youngins, so the Christmas tradition can once again be passed on. So
That's cool.
it's pretty basic, and it's largely has to do with it's largely just stocking, breakfast, Christmas story, lunch, present opening, dinner. Not too much to it these days. And because of that, I don't really have a favorite part. My favorite part of Christmas is that it exists.
Is that it exists? That's a legitimate answer.
That it's there, and it is one of the 2 most important times of the year for the Christian.
Yeah, definitely. Does your family have any wacky Christmas traditions? Or I guess I could also say, did your family have any wacky Christmas traditions?
Not really. We're actually really normal.
Okay, well, what does normal look like?
Normal looks like nothing really out of the ordinary. Like we don't even do like ugly sweaters or anything. It's not that big of a highlight. My family doesn't really have anybody else to celebrate with around them. Like we might have a family get together with one of my cousins who lives about an hour and a half away, but really we just eat dinner and catch up. There's nothing really to it.
Okay, but what about when you growing up?
Growing up it was still relatively simple. I mean, the only real thing was the youngest person, that usually being me, was the one who got to be Santa Claus and distribute the presents. But that was really the only defining thing of our Christmas celebration. So
yeah,
nothing too out of the ordinary, unfortunately. And I I'm gonna definitely follow up on the series because I know you have a few other people to interview, and I'm actually kind of curious to hear about some of the other people's Christmas traditions. And then I'm gonna probably mope and cry because they had more interesting families than me.
I think like when it comes down to traditions, it's not so much like interesting families or anything like that. I don't think that should be a factor of it. I think what it is just the family that you had traditions that they held dear, whether or not they were really weird, really crazy traditions. And I think there's definitely value in just remembering that, hey, even though we might not have had the traditions that other people did have, we still had some pretty good traditions and still had a good time all together, just as family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something to think about.
Absolutely.
What is your fondest Christmas memory?
Um, Let me think. One of my fondest Christmas memories actually happened last year. So last Christmas was the very first Christmas that was not celebrated at my parents' house that I can remember. Um, well, okay, there was the one Christmas, if I remember correctly, that I wasn't actually able to come home for Christmas. I forgot why. I think it was because I had something going on at church, but I don't remember. But this was the first Christmas that my parents did not celebrate at all at their home.
Okay.
We went to my aforementioned brother's house, 4 hours away, and we actually spent Christmas there. And that was, and the time around that was actually around the that was actually about the time I had started talking to the woman who would eventually become my girlfriend. So
Ew.
so that was particularly special. But the fact that we were actually able to go down there and spend Christmas with them. So I went down there and then the very next day I immediately drove another 4.5 hours to go see our friend Doug. And then Christmas Eve so I spent the entire day with him. That was Christmas Eve. And then that was basically my Christmas. And then Christmas Eve I drove in the evening I drove back to spend Christmas Day with my family, and then we drove home very next day. So Christmas there is very like the winters there are very different than they are up here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially around December, very little snow, cloudy skies, but very little snow. The temperatures are tolerable.
All right. I think we're on the last question here. What does Christmas mean to you?
All right, so that's the question I really wanted to get to. So to me, Christmas is really just the first part of the story.
Okay.
So everyone knows Jesus was born on Christmas Day, but Christmas is really only the beginning of, it's really only the beginning of, God's big plan of redemption as we know it in the New Testament. In reality, the story of Christmas extends from the creation of the universe all the way to Easter and beyond. To me, Christmas is, yes, it is important, but but in reality, it is only really the beginning of uh, God coming down to Earth, and um, and taking on human form, so that through him and the person of his son Jesus, everyone can be saved, and in that, there is the course of his life and ministry, and of course, ultimately his death and resurrection. So, in that vein, I think of the two biggest holidays in the Christian faith.
That being Christmas and Easter?
Correct. That being Christmas and Easter. I believe Easter is the most important one because it is the point in the history of Christianity, the resurrection of Jesus, where everything really comes together. That is the true focal point. And that's really why I personally don't make as big of a deal about Christmas as perhaps I should. Because to me, Easter, being the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus, is really the bigger of the two holidays. Mm-hmm. So I foresee myself in the future doing more with Easter baskets than Christmas stockings, if you will.
Well, that is all the questions that I had for you. Let me just drop a couple more blocks on here. And then we should be able to take a look at both of them and see where they ended up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll figure out... Well, we won't figure it out because it won't figure out until the comments say who had the better candy cane. But, yes. Alright, you went with the, after blowing up yours, very small, cutesy little one here.
Very small, cutesy little
upside
candy
down.
Cane. Literally no frills, but yes, upside down because as we all know, it forms the letter J, representing Jesus' name, which is, even though the story isn't necessarily true, there's an old legend about a candy maker in Indiana who specifically wanted to make a candy that symbolized a couple of things. So if you have it the way you have it turned, it looks a lot like a shepherd's crook.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I have it, it is the letter J to represent Jesus' name.
Yep.
Now, while neither story can necessarily be proven historically factual, they are definitely wonderful ways to interpret a candy cane as a symbol of Christmas as we know it as believers.
I'd like to add on as well to that. In that same legend of how the candy cane was made, it was specifically chosen to be a white piece of candy to symbolize Jesus' purity, and then red stripes to symbolize the shedding of his blood. It's part of that same legend.
But
whether it's true or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's spearmint. Once again, that was Menzador. Again, I put his links down in the description so that we can have them. You can go check out his channel and what he does. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.